Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual South Boston Speedway for the second night in a row. This time for the Mid South iRacing Tour, the super late model version, the super late model series for these guys. Got a good strong field of 19 cars currently at the South Boston Speedway. Now we got one more rolling in through the pit area on his trailer, about to unload that car. But currently at the top of the board is the 21 machine of Carter Russo. Jimmy Gowker, the Rocket Man, sits second. David Lux third. Alex Sexton fourth. Caden Tufts in the 88 machine sits fifth. Mark Keepman in the 2K sits sixth. Connor Osborne seventh. Cooper Ward eighth. Owen Collier ninth. Ryman Castle 10th. Jared Appel 11th. Jake Brooks 12th. Nick Smith 13th. 14th spot goes to Preston Moores. The 15th spot to Craig Tully. 16th, Josh Smith. 17th, the 005 of John Gahan. 18th, Brandon Hartman in the 41 machine. And rounding out the field, the 19th spot, the 71 of Kenneth Cucko. So currently with about 8 minutes left in this open practice session, let's get a few eyes and ears on our leaderboard here. Second place now, Jimmy Gowker into the 2 machine as he rolls into turns 1 and 2. Not happy with that lap, gonna pack it up. Alex Sexton in the 9 machine gonna roll off pit lane right here. We see him in the 9 Chevrolet Camaro. Got FLF race cars on the side of that car. Just going around him is the 005 of John Gahan as he rolls out of turns 3 and 4 and takes a pretty early entry into turns 1 and 2. A 15.043 that time. Rolling out of the pits, you just saw right there, the 51, Jared Appel. Heads into turns 3 and 4. Goes into turns 1 and 2 right behind the 99 of Cooper Ward, who sits 8th place currently. Jared Appel climbs the wall into turns 3 and 4. Still getting everything set up here. It's about 5 minutes left in the practice session. 20 cars on hand here at the South Boston Speedway. Quite a few cars here for a 4/10 of a mile oval. Ryman Castle now rolling out of the pit area in the number 1 machine. P1 Performance and Rocket Fabrication and Suspension on that Mustang. Ryman currently sits in the 10th spot. As we watch Ryman roll through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway, as there's a little bit of an incident there with the 04 of David Lux. As Alex Sexton now heads down the front straightaway. Hayden Tufts in the 88 machine rolling through turns 1 and 2 this time. You see a bunch of cars heading out on track to get a few last-minute practice laps going in here. Take a look at the current leaderboard. Carter Russo still fast time. Jimmy Gowker is second. David Lux third. Alex Sexton fourth. Jared Appel up into the fifth spot. Caden Tufts into the sixth position. Mark Keatman seventh. And Connor Osborne eighth. Cooper Ward ninth. And rounding at the top 10, the number 7 machine, Owen Collier. I'm going to go ahead and step away really quick as we got 3 minutes left in this practice session. But you're not going to miss a thing. We'll get some cameras going for you guys here, so you aren't going to miss anything. We are back with just 1 minute left of practice left. 1 minute left of practice here at the South Boston Speedway. So take a look at Travis Roma in the 38 machine. The gold numbers on that car. Nice looking hot rod for Mr. Travis. Set up really quick just so I have a better idea of something that happens here. Just a bit of information for you guys here about the South Boston Speedway. It's located in South Boston, Virginia, about a 0.4 mile oval. Tonight, we got air temp of 77 degrees and a track temp of a somewhat colder 80 degrees compared to what we normally see here at the South Boston Speedway. Mostly cloudy, but obviously it's under the lights, so you can't really tell. But it's now time for the qualifying as these guys roll out of the pits. As first up on the speedway, Carter Russo in the number 21 machine coming out of the Carolina area, rolls into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. He's going to be the first one to put down a lap during this qualifying session. And in turns 3 and 4, these guys get 2 laps to the end of lap 1. Cardorusso will end up going a 14.827. That is the quick time as of right now, 14.827. Also on the racetrack, the number 7 machine of Owen Collier. He is 4th quick as of right now, rolls out of turn number 4 for his second lap. And it's a 14.915. 14.915. Picks it up just one position. As currently second quick, Caden Tufts in the 88 machine with a 14.834. He's going to peel it off this time. Alex Sexton now in the 9 on the speedway. His first lap time in 8.74, 14.874. Rolls through turns 3 and 4. And at the line, he's gonna hit the wall, so there's not gonna be a lap there. Travis Roma on the track into the number 38 machine. Already got lap 1 in. Lap 2 is gonna be a little bit quicker. A 14.841. 841 puts him up into the 3rd spot. Current running order is Cardorusso, Caden Tufts, Travis Roma. David Lux now on the racetrack, moves out into the 2nd position. A few more guys on the racetrack, one of those being the 2 machine of Drew Chance. Didn't get very many laps in the early practice session, but he's going to have to throw his hat into qualifying here, and he's going to park it. Didn't really like the feeling of that one, so he's going to maybe go to the pits and restart there. Quick time alert. Mark Keatman in the 2 machine, and as I say that, the other 2 machine, Jimmy Gauker, goes to the top of the board with a 14.751. So going later for the number 2 machines might have been a little bit of an advantage there, as they are both at the top of the board. Just so we get the confusion out of the way, on the scoring pylon, you'll see Mark Keatman is the number 3 car. But we're actually going to be calling him by the 2K. So Jimmy Gauker the 2, Mark Keatman the 2K. On the racetrack right now, number 57 of Jake Brooks. He's in the pits right there. Still not made a lap yet. We also have John Gahan on the racetrack out of turn number 4, coming his first lap time. He rolls out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. John Gahan out of the Canada region. And his first lap time, a 14.821, 14.821. That puts him 3rd quick. Great lap for John Gahan, 005. Remember, he's got one more lap as he rolls out of turns 3 and 4. The completion of his 2nd lap. Going to fall off just a little bit there. 99 of Cooper Ward now on the racetrack with just over a minute to go. Ward out of the mid-south area in that green and gray number 99 machine. Might have tagged the wall there. For just a little bit of information for you guys that aren't familiar with the iRacing service. If you tag the wall in qualifying, that invalidates your lap, but fortunately for Cooper, he did not tag the wall. But it's not going to look pretty for him as of right now. A 14th position there for him with a 14.988, 14.988. 2nd lap time, looking to pick it up just a little bit, and he does. 14.924, but he stays right in the 14th spot. So very, very tight field here at the South Boston Speedway. I believe that might be everybody as of right now. 21 cars here at the South Boston Speedway. We got Raymond Kelly in the chat, shouting out the good luck to all the guys at P1 Performance. Quite a few guys out there with the P1 brand represented on their race cars, and a good group of guys. A lot of fun to race with, so hopefully they put on a show here tonight. Quick time currently is the 2 of Jimmy Gauker, and we're going to go ahead and get a word from him right now as we head into the gridding. So we're going to go ahead and get a word from our fast qualifier, Jimmy Gauker. Jimmy, up in the booth, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Well, looks like you're starting to pick up right where you left off last night in the short track Super Series. Quick time here tonight. Do you think you're going to stay up there?
It's a tough field of cars. Carter Russo's pretty good. Mark's Keeman's pretty good. Caden Tuss, I think he won last week. He's also pretty good. So it's a tough field, tight field as well here tonight.
Yeah, very, very tight field, as you mentioned. Just a couple tenths separating everybody back to the 20th spot. Um, it's going to be a game of endurance. And can you tell me really quick, do you have tires to take here at the South Boston Speedway?
We have unlimited tires,
All
and we
right, so
have no fast repairs.
no fast repairs and however many sets of tires you need. But after a 75 lap late race, you're just going to have to try and keep those puppies underneath you, and maybe you'll see the checkered flag first.
Is right.
Yep, that was Jimmy Gowker, the pole sitter here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. As we'll go over a quick rundown of the grid here. As on the pole, it is the number 2 machine of Jimmy Gowker, the Rocket Man Jimmy Gowker. It is outside the other number 2, the 2K of Mark Keeman. The third spot goes to John Gahan in the 005. Fourth place, the 21 of Carter Russo. Fifth place, David Lux at the 04 machine with the 88 of Caden Tufts is outside. Seventh, Travis Roma in the gold numbered 38 machine is outside. The silver numbered Drew Chance in the 2, or the 22, I don't know. 2C, 2X, we'll call him 2X. And the next row, the 29 of Preston Moores in the 9th spot to his outside will be the 9 of Alex Sexton. Connor Osborne in the 12 rolls off in the 11th position, and an unusual qualifying run for the ace, Ryman Castle, all the way back in the 12th position. Going to have to move forward if he wants anything successful out of this race. But meanwhile, the pace car lights are off here at the South Boston Speedway, and we're getting ready to turn these drivers loose for 75 laps of good green flag racing. Gowker goes, and a big shuffle on at the start. Russo very sideways there in the beginning. Already some front nose damage on that machine, but the battle for the lead, Mark Keeman and Jimmy Gowker in both of the 2 machines, with David Lux right there as well. As they start to single file on back towards the back of the pack. Look at Jared Appel in the 12th spot, right in front of him, the 99 of Cooper Ward. Looking at the inside of Owen Collier, and Owen is going to have to drop back just a little bit, and he's now going to have Jared Appel looking at his inside. Back up front, Mark Keeman. A little bit off of Jimmy Gowker's back bumper there. As they head into turns 1 and 2. As they roll attitude, get our cool backstretch camera that we have set up here. Owen Collier riding around the outside of the 10 machine of Nick Smith. A lot of cars already with some early damage. You see Connor Osborne in the 12 machine with some damage as we are under yellow for the first time tonight. And it looks like it might be the number 57 of Jake Brooks. We'll get a look at what happened to Jake there. As take a look here with Jake Brooks. It looks like he just pulled it in, but there was a car spun out in front of him there. And that would be the number 41 of Brandon Hartman. We'll get a look at what happened to Brandon there as they came off of the 4th corner. Going into 3 here, right behind the 71 of Kenneth Cucko. And looks like just got a little bit too much throttle there coming out of the 4th turn. And around he goes into the inside wall. As Jimmy Gowker, still the leader in that number 2 machine with R&B Car Company, and a P1 Performance on that Chevrolet Camaro. Remember, folks, 21 cars started the race here at the South Boston Speedway. We've lost 1 in Jake Brooks. He's pulled the number 57 machine down to the pit road. And looks like he's already 3 laps down, so he might be out of this one. Mark Keatman in the number 2K machine currently sits in the 2nd position. Was able to fall in there as Carter Russo in the 21 had an early trouble on that initial restart. Left a lot of cars back in the pack with quite a bit of damage. as here we roll to lap 9. I believe we're getting the 1 to go signal this time. And we do. The pace truck lights are out. And we'll be getting ready to turn them loose for yet another green flag run. And they roll into turns 3 and 4. It's going to be in the hands of Jimmy Gauker and Mark Keatman. As Keatman goes, and as well as Jimmy Gauker. Gauker with quite a bit of an advantage going in turn 1. That's going to allow David Lux to look to the inside of the 2K of Mark Keatman. Down the back straightaway. Here, tires squealing. Out back in a big scuffle. David Lux around, and everybody into the outside wall. Yellow flag once again here at the South Boston Speedway. We heard tires squealing, and then we saw them spinning them out as we look at what happened to David Lux. Got a little bit too sideways there and went straight on into the corner. Managed to get Carter Russo's back bumper, and then they all just kind of piled in there. Josh Smith in the 08 machine involved. Kenneth Kucko into the number 71. We also saw Cooper Ward in the 99 machine involved. A lot of good race cars torn up in that one. Gauker still the leader as David Lux makes his long transition to the back of the pack there. That will put him into the 20th position. He might be a lap down, I believe, as of this moment. Got a few people watching the stream right now. Anything you guys got to say so far? Who you cheering for? And anybody you'd like to shout out as we are rolling under caution once again here at the South Boston Speedway. As the current top 5 is Jimmy Gauker in the 2, Mark Keatman in the 2K, Carter Russo in the 21 machine, Caden Tufts in the 88, and Alex Sexton in the 9, rounding out the top 5. But a lot of mangled up race cars already at this stage in the race. And remember, as Jimmy said earlier in his interview, we don't have a faster pair, so definitely a good story to keep an eye on here as we roll around. Pace car lights still on here at the South Boston Speedway. And Jimmy Gauker in the lead in the R&B car company, Chevrolet Camaro. And the lights do go out on the iRacing.com pace truck. And the pace truck will be pulling off of turn number 4, and we will release these guys for some more green flag action here at South Boston. As Gauker and Keatman once again line up door to door, fender to fender, as the pace car peels off the racing surface. Gauker goes, Keatman hangs on this time, but Russo's going to be right there to make the move on Keatman as they roll down the back straightaway. Caden Tufts right there hanging on into the 4th spot. He's going to get down in front of the 9 of Alex Sexton, but the battle's for the 2nd spot between the 21 of Carter Russo and the 2K of Mark Keatman. Contact made. Keatman up the racetrack into the 2 machine. Caden Tufts now to the inside, rolling for the 3rd spot. And Alex Sexton with a little bit of contact as well. Keatman out of shape as they go into turn 1. That's going to allow a lot of cars to get to the inside. Preston Moores in the 29. One of them, Ryan McCassell, Andrew Chance. Now Jared Appel to the inside of the 2K machine. What a tragic restart for the 2K of Keatman. More contact into turns 1 and 2 that time. But still up front, the 2 machine of Jimmy Gauker rolls away. Russo into the 2nd spot with Caden Tufts, reeling him in on the back bumper. Alex Sexton settling into the 4th spot in that number 9 machine with FLF race cars and graphics by WD on that machine. Field kind of settling down for now. The battle now for the 8th spot between the 51 of Jared Appel and the 2K of Mark Keatman. Keeman slides in behind Appel. It's a 2 sandwich with the 51 machine in the middle of it with Drew Chance in the 2X in front of him and Keatman in the 2K behind. Appel comfortably into the 7th spot. Ryman Castle currently into the 6th spot, the number 1 machine. Remember, he started all the way back in the 12th position, but I believe I saw David Lux up there going another lap down in the 04. Contact with the 21 of Carter Russo with the number 04 of David Lux. Lux not being an easy lap car here to be passed at the South Boston Speedway, as Russo having a hard time getting around the 04 machine, kind of bottling him up, and we have another caution here at South Boston. So it looks like it's the number 08 machine of Josh Smith. Rolls down the back straightaway here. You see, just a big bumper from the 12 machine of Connor Osborne, and around he goes. And some contact made and upside down in turns 3 and 4. The 08 of Josh Smith upside down. That's going to have him towing back to the pit lane. Very unfortunate turn of events. He was running in the 16th spot at the time. But that's going to move him all the way back to the 19th position, 3 laps down. As still here at South Boston, the leader, Jimmy Gauker, in the 2 machine. Carter Russo up on that restart, moved into the 2nd position. He brought Caden Tufts along with him, but let's check on Mark Keatman in the 2K. You know, he lined up 2nd on that restart all the way back to the 9th position now. He's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants any spot back at the win. We've got Darlene Kelly cheering on Ryman Castle and P1 Performance in the chat. Shout out to the P1 Performance gang as they currently roll into the top spot with Jimmy Gauker in the 2. As the pace truck lights are off on the iRacing.com pace truck. And we're going to be set for green flag action once again here at South Boston. This time it's going to be Gauker and Carter Russo in the 21 machine leading them to the line. As we're going to watch the pace truck pull off this time. And nope, just kidding. Lights back on. Somewhere in race control, someone was not pleased with the lineup, and we're going to be under yellow for another lap here, but the pace truck lights off this time, so we will be getting ready for some more green flag action. As the field paces through turns 3 and 4, and the pace truck now pulls off, and they go. Much better start from Russo this time. He's going to be on the outside of Gauker coming out of turn number 2, but contact might have been made 3 wide down the backstretch. Alex Sexton, the meat and the sandwich right there, as he was right in the middle of Russo and Tufts. Tufts now to the inside of Russo going into turn number 1. Got a bumper to him, bumper to the back of the 21 as he rolls out of turn number 2. Moves Tufts up into the 2nd position. Carter Russo going to fall back all the way to the 6th position, now under fire from the 29 of Preston Moores and the 51 of Jared Appel. Tufts now up into that 2nd position after using the chrome horn there on the 21 of Carter Russo. Alex Sexton just sitting there in the 3rd spot, being patient. Ryman Castle in the 1 up to the 4th spot from the 12th starting spot. Moores still to the inside of Carter Russo. Going to slip up just a little bit now, and that allows Russo to tuck back into the 5th position. And yellow flag once again here at South Boston. We'll see what happened out back. So it looks like the 38 machine of Travis Roma. Goes around in turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at what happened here. As coming out of turn number 4, just a little bit of contact with Nick Smith in the 10 machine, and around goes the 38 of Roma into the outside wall. Smith gets away cleanly, and Roma goes around. Those guys battling for the, I believe, 12th spot. And that might potentially send those guys to the rear here. Caution-filled race so far as we come to the halfway mark at South Boston. Gauker still the leader. Got the pole and hasn't looked back so far. As the pace truck leads the field down the back straightaway. Lap 37 of the 75 lap race. Caden Tufts, last week's winner, and the 88 sits in the second position. Alex Sexton making his first start in the Mid-South iRacing Tour into the third spot. Ryman Castle, the ace, to his outside. And Carter Russo in the 21, rounding out the top 5 after that bit of contact with the 88 of Caden Tufts on that last restart. And we are on the instant replay screen. That would have been bad, as the pace car this time lights back on the iRacing.com pace truck. And we'll be going to green this time by, as the field gets the 1 to go signal from our man in the flag stand. And this time it's going to be Gauker and Tufts to the outside as they roll through 3 and 4. It's going to be Tufts and Gauker leading us to the green. And Gauker goes. Tufts doesn't get as good of a start, and he's going to be able to clear the 9 machine of Alex Sexton going into the first corner. Ryman Castle letting it hang up on the outside of Alex Sexton. Move Ryman Castle to the third spot as they go down the back straightaway. Right behind them, the 51, Jared Appel to the inside of the 29 machine of Preston Boers. That's the battle for the 6th spot. Right in front of them, Carter Russo now to the inside of the 1 of Castle. And maybe to the inside of the 9, but as I say that, Ryman Castle goes around down the front straightaway. So we'll take a look at what happened right there. So you saw him to the outside of Carter Russo. And it looks like coming out of 4, just a little bit too much gas, but oh, he got tagged by the 51 machine and just nowhere for anybody to go. You saw Owen Collier in the number 7 machine with some heavy contact on the front nose piece of the number 7 car. But Castle in the 1 gets tagged by the 51 of Jared Appel, and around went Ryman. You know, we were just talking about how he moved up all those spots from starting the 12th position, moves all the way up. And he was running 3rd there for a second, and he was back into the 5th spot, and around he went. So not a good day for the Ryman Castle crew right there, but he's going to have his work cut out for him here as he sits in the 15th spot. 44 laps in here at South Boston, as Jimmy Gauker still the leader in the 2 machine. Caden Tufts 2nd, Alex Sexton 3rd, Carter Russo 4th, and Preston Boers now rounding out the top 5. As the field paces out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Get a good look at all these guys with a lot of front end damage here at South Boston. I mean, look at the 12 machine of Connor Osborne as he rolls by right there. The front end looking pretty mangled on that P1 Performance Osborne Symptography number 12 entry. Is back up front the leader, Jimmy Gauker, leads the field down the back straightaway. Pace lights still on here at South Boston. Up to this stage in the race, we've seen quite a few cautions with not a lot of green flag runs. Still 17 cars on the lead lap here at South Boston as the pace truck lights on the iRacing.com pace truck turn off. That means we're going to go green flag racing this time by. Hopefully the last restart we see in quite a while as we approach 25 laps to go. But this time, once again, it's going to be Gauker and Tufts leading us to the green. Gauker's going to go nice and early. Tufts with a pretty good restart up on that top side. They're going to be dead even going into turns 1 and 2. 4 cars under a blanket for the top 4 spots. Tufts and Gauker side by side. Russo goes around almost, and now they do. Owen Collier hard into the outside wall, and it is a parking lot on the front straightaway. The 10 machine of Nick Smith goes upside down as a huge pile up down the front straightaway. As it looked like it started with the 21 machine of Carter Russo getting a little bit squirrely there going into turns 3 and 4 as looked like him and the 9 of Alex Sexton made just a little bit of contact, and up the track he went, and then he also got tagged by the 7 of Owen Collier. And Owen with some heavy contact, and the entire field with just nowhere to go, and a couple of cars upside down. Did we see the 2K of Mark Keatman go upside down? We did. Keatman upside down into the 2 machine. And a crazy turn of events here with the big one striking on lap 48 or 49 out of 75. As Ryman Castle report from inside the car, the throttle hung in reverse, and the day is done. Unfortunate for the guys back at the P1 Performance stable, and anybody wanting Ryman Castle to win this race. Ryman Castle and the one's going to call it a night here at South Boston. A lot of cars taken out in that one. So I believe now we have 12 cars on the lead lap. Few names in that accident. Jared Appel was involved. Ryman Castle, obviously, in the 1 machine, as we saw. Mark Keatman into the 2 went upside down, along with the 10 of Nick Smith also went upside down. Connor Osborne also collected in the big wreck, and as we saw, Owen Collier in the 7 machine. Very unfortunate for those guys, and that's going to take out quite a few cars. Jared Appel tags the end of the field. I do believe he is a lap down as the field paces right behind the iRacing.com pace truck into turns 3 and 4. And it's going to peel off of the racing surface once again. Gauker and Tufts are going to lead us to the green. Gauker with a good jump that time. He's going to be able to get up in front of the 29 of Preston Boers. Maybe a bumper to the back of the 2 machine as they head down the back straightaway. Caden Tufts peeking his nose in there. Not quite there. Bumper to the back of the 2. Caden Tufts to the inside. And Jimmy Gauker catches a tough, or a very, very lucky break as we have a caution now. Once again here at South Boston. It looks like it was the number 0, or the 005 of John Gahan going around as right off of the 99's nose there. And around he goes. And tags the 2K of Mark Keatman as well. Keatman went from qualifying second in this race to all the way back in 14th now, 3 laps down. A lot of guys out of this one. But still, Jimmy Gauker on point with 20 laps to go this time. Or 19 laps to go at the line this time for the number 2 of Jimmy Gauker. Caden Tufts right there, maybe getting a little impatient with the 2 machine of Jimmy Gauker. We saw right before that caution break the bumper to the back of the two. And definitely a bit of an aggressive move here. But as we see, Caden Tufts wanting to go to the front as quickly as he can. Sitting in the second position currently. As the current running order is Jimmy Gauker in the 2 machine. Right behind him, the 88 of Caden Tufts. Drew Chance in the 2X into the 3rd spot. That fresh new ride, Preston Boers in the 29 machine. One of the cleaner race cars that we got out here. Monster Energy Camaro. And right behind him, the 04 machine of David Lux. As 12 cars on the lead lap now. Alex Sexton in the 9 already back up to the 7th position after being sent to the back. So you know he's going to be hard charging towards the front after being sent to the back from his 3rd place spot. But right now, as we go, Gauker and Tufts going to lead to the green once again. And Gauker goes, and he's going to be ahead of Tufts going into turns 1 and 2. Oh, Gauker upside down, flying through the air like a frisbee. Wow, how did that happen? We caught the tail end of that there as Jimmy Gauker got turned, right hooked, coming out of turns 1 and 2. We'll take another look at that there as just kind of comes up a little bit. And Caden Tufts is right there, and up and over goes the 2 machine. Takes a big wild ride and ends up on the barrels on the exit at turn number 2. Hopefully the AMR safety crew getting there relatively quickly, but it looks like that's going to end Jimmy Gauker's chances of winning here tonight. As we're going to take one more look at that powerful incident, as we got a good camera for it right here. As they roll into turns 1 and 2. And you see at this point, they're rolling through the corner, and you see Gauker taking a massive hit there and just flying through the air up on top of the barrels. Take a look at that one more time, as that was just absolutely madness as they rolled through 1 and 2. From this view, it looks like Gauker just kind of comes up a little bit there on the 88 at Tufts, and around he goes right into the outside wall. As Caden Tufts going to the back of the pack for that one. That'll put the 29 machine of Preston Boers in the Monster Energy Camaro up to the top spot. As, give me a second, I accidentally just did not mean to do that. Opened a wrong application there. Screen probably blinked there for a second. Mine did, but here we are back at the South Boston Speedway. Preston Boers, your new leader. In the number 29 machine to his outside, it is the 2X of Drew Chance. You see 22 on the scoring pylon, but obviously number 2 on the race car. The number 2 machine of Drew Chance. Now 10 cars on the lead lap. As now Preston Boers in the 29 and Drew Chance going to lead us to the line for the first time this race. Boers is going to go nice and early. He's going to have an advantage going into turn number 1. Chance coming back down right in front of Travis Roma, but Roma with the number 71 of Kenneth Cucko to his outside. That's the battle for the 3rd spot. The 5th spot battle is the number 04 and the 9. That's Alex Sexton and David Lux. As Kenneth Cucko seems to fall back just a little bit now behind the 38 of Travis Roma. In contact, the bumper to the back of the 71 from the 04 machine. It's going to allow David Lux to go right on through. Jared Appel and the 51 machine going around out of turns 1 and 2. as we are still green. We'll take a look at what happened there, as looks like coming through 1 and 2. Appel just gets a little bit sideways, and around he goes. As we are still clean and green here at South Boston. Boers still the leader with 6 laps to go as they head down the back straightaway. Drew Chance into the second spot. And Travis Roma into the third position now. Kenneth Cucko to the inside of the 71 machine for the fourth spot. As Caden Tufts rolling around to the outside of Alex Sexton in the 9. Mark Keatman up there into the mix. He is unfortunately 3 laps down, so his finishing position right here not going to mean anything. But these guys coming to 3 laps to go. 3, there we go. Figured it out. As Preston Moore is still the leader. Kenneth Cucko around down the back straightaway. As we're going to be under caution once again. Take a look at what happened to the 71 machine. As looks like out of turns 1 and 2, just got a little bit too much gas, and around went the Valvoline number 71. As Preston Moore is still the leader. So we're going to have a green-white checkered finish. Don't know if we get unlimited attempts here, but the first one will be led to green by the number 29 of Preston Boers and the 22 machine of Drew Chance. Third place is the 38 machine of Travis Roma. And Jimmy Gauker into the 2 right there, but he's unfortunately not in the fourth position. Fourth position goes to David Lux in the 04 and Caden Tufts in the 88, rounding out the top 5. Still quite a few cars on the racetrack, but also quite a few laps down here. Just trying to get out there and log some laps, try and make some positions up late in this one. As Preston Boers still the leader in the 29 machine. As he rolls out of turn number 4, I believe we're going to be getting the 1 lap to go signal this time. And we don't. So just a few more laps to settle this one here at the South Boston Speedway. Located in South Boston, Virginia. Keep trying to say West Virginia, but it is in Virginia. As everybody in the chat right now, all you guys watching at home, put down there, who do you got to win on this 2-lap shootout? Will it be the 29 of Preston Boers, the current leader, or will it be surprise candidate Drew Chance in the second spot in the number 2? Anybody got Travis Roma in the 38? What about Mr. Excitement back there, David Lux? Bunch of cars up here, going to be an interesting battle for the lead. And Preston Boers this time going to lead us out of turn number 4. Into turns 1 and 2, Boers with a heavy advantage as they roll through the center, and Drew Chance goes around. Chance in the 2 machine going around right there. As that was an unfortunate restart for the 2. We saw him sitting in the second spot. As we'll take a look at what happened right there. As you see, gets hooked there by, I believe, the 04 of David Lux. So a few guys now out of this one. As now 4 cars left on the lead lap here at the South Boston Speedway. Who could have predicted this one going in, folks? Just a few cars left on the lead lap. Coming to another green-white checkered finish. As the top 5 running order currently is Preston Moores, Brandon Hartman, Drew Chance, and Jared Appel. And rounding out the top 5, 1 lap down, the 21 machine of Carter Russo. As we're going to be coming to another green-white checkered when these guys go back to green flag racing. Under caution once again here at the South Boston Speedway. Lights still on the iRacing.com pace truck. And Preston Moores and Brandon Hartman in the 41 gonna lead us to the green. Drew Chance right there in that 3rd spot. Remember, he got spun last caution. As 1 lap to green signal being displayed on the racing surface, it's going to be Moores and Hartman leading us to the green. As the pace truck is going to pull off here at South Boston and out of turn number 4. Preston Moores goes along with Hartman behind him. Drew Chance sticking his nose in there for the 3rd spot. Hartman ends up spinning out of turn number 2, and up and over goes the 51 machine of Jared Appel, tumbling into the 3rd corner. Yet another big incident here at South Boston. So we'll take a look at Jared Appel's view of this as he comes down the backstretch. Just nowhere to go for the 51 machine as it all happened right there in front of him. Jared Appel upside down. Drew Chance also collected there in the 2 machine. As we are still reckoned under caution here. As I believe the checkered flag might be being displayed here at the South Boston Speedway. And it is the checkered flag being displayed. Preston Moores is the official winner of this one. Carter Russo 2nd and Jared Appel 3rd. We'll get a word from these guys in just a few moments here, as we will be right back. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We will see you guys in just a second here at the South Boston Speedway.
I can get interviewed. Preston has already left, and I don't even think he's in Discord, so I don't think Preston will get interviewed.
That's Jared and Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have any sponsors you need me to say?
Marquita Man Performance.
We can hear you on the broadcast.
Wow.
Alrighty, and we are back at the South Boston Speedway. Official running order was Preston Moores picking up the win, Jared Appel coming in 2nd, and Drew Chance finishing 3rd into the 2 machine. Unfortunately, Preston not in Discord, so we're not going to be able to get a word from our winner, but we'll get a word from the second place finisher, Jared Appel. Jared, how you doing? Ended up picking the second place spot up here tonight at South Boston after a hectic-filled race. Anybody got to thank that ended up putting you on the second place position on the podium?
I just gotta thank the guys at the Mid-South iRacing League, our tour, for putting these races on. They've always been a lot of fun whenever I can make them. Yeah, it was a rough one. Early I was at 0x probably till about halfway, so I think that helped towards the end once everyone started getting black flagged or disqualified. But thank you guys at WD Broadcasting Network for putting the broadcast on today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be here at the South Boston Speedway for the second night in a row here, and we saw you on that last restart go upside down in a pretty big way in turns 3 and 4, and down the back straightaway, and you ended up recovering from that to end up second place tonight. So good run for you, Jared, and we see you back next week, and congrats on your second place finish.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Yep. Now to talk to our third place finisher, Drew Chance, in the 2 machine. Drew, you are on the air. Third place finish here tonight for you at South Boston.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, well, you seem pretty unenthused for a third place finish here tonight. But tell us about your race, man.
It was, just a long, not really a long run, just having to really just make your car and save tires, which, you had tires in there, but, a lot of guys are going to stay out and not want to get tires because you're quick, even on some old tires, so. But.
Yeah, as me and Jimmy mentioned before this race, tire strategy would be a thing with having the sets of tires down in the pit area. We saw a few guys down there getting some damage fixed and some tires on the race cars, but don't think it really made an effect. But second place for you, Drew. Anybody you got to thank to put you on the podium tonight? Or third place, sorry.
WD for the paint scheme for 2 nights in a row now. Other than that, I guess South Alabama Speedway for the sponsor on the top of the hood. Other than that, that's all, man. Just really wish we could have done this last night and not ruined it and finished 5th.
Alrighty, well, second place for you here tonight, or third place. I keep messing that up. My
Third place.
My scoring pile on here is a little bit messed up on my timing screen, but nevertheless, third place for Drew Chance, and unfortunately we will not get a word from our winner here tonight, Preston Boers, in the 29 machine. But if you're watching at home, Preston, congrats on the win here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour at South Boston Speedway. You can catch us back next week in the Mid-South iRacing Tour at the, I believe we discussed Southern National, maybe? No, I don't know. I think it was Concord. It says Concord on the schedule, but we discussed it last night. It won't be Concord, I don't believe. But we will see, and we'll get a word out sometime this week. But I believe that's going to wrap us up here at South Boston. This is Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network, reminding you that if your backside isn't trackside, you got to figure out what you're doing. Everybody have a good evening and take it easy.